All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. Hope everyone had an awesome Easter with their friends, family. Today we wanted to get back started with talking about pricing property. Obviously, things are constantly changing in this market of ours. You know, as we saw things kind of level out and become a little less crazy over the winter, it seems like things are picking back up again. And obviously, these market shifts affect our pricing strategies. So that's why we wanted to bring this topic up and kind of mastermind on it and get together and see what everyone's doing and what they're thinking when they're starting new listings and what their pricing strategies are. Uncle Tim and I have been talking about this for a little bit. Uncle Tim, do you want to share some of your thoughts first before we get started?
Yeah, so I guess we're in the spring market, and we've been having lunches with the agents on a weekly basis. You know, and as I talk to some of the agents and I find out what they're involved with. Last week I had lunch with Steve Voorhees and Bob Lehman, and we were chatting about how many multiple offers there still are on different properties. And it was amazing some of the stories that I heard from the people that were at that luncheon. For instance, there was one that had 25 offers on it, one that had 20, 17, 12. I know Brooks, you were involved in one that had like 6, and then just one recently with Sandy that had 3 offers on it. So as we thought the market was going to slow, we thought, you know, we're going to have to get tougher on pricing. So I just wanted to find out from everybody else that's on the call, how do they see the market and as far as pricing goes? Because what we're seeing is that if you still price it at a good price, there's going to be multiple offers on it, and it's going to be bid up over the asking price. For instance, one recently was in the 475,000 range, and I think it went just a little north of 500 in that price range. And I know, Sherry, you've been involved in some in that price range recently. What are you seeing in that $400,000 and $500,000 price range with multiple offers?
I mean, we're seeing like really, really big upfront deposits, and then buyers are willing to pay a huge appraisal gap.
Okay.
I mean, I've written many, many offers and my buyers are not getting them. They don't have cash like a lot of people do these days. I'm not sure where they're getting $400,000 worth of cash. I think parents are helping out, or grandparents, but it's tough. I mean, it's just stressful. You know, you show houses, you write offers. Oh, there's 15 offers. Sorry, they didn't get it. I just wrote one the other day. Sorry, 16 other offers. They didn't get it. They had better terms. So, you know, I don't know what to do if they don't have cash or tons of money extra put into the transaction. But that's what we're seeing. We'll pay 20,000 appraisal gap, and we'll give 50,000 upfront deposit.
Okay. So what's interesting about that is, again, with the number of offers, they're not all cash, which also tells you that buyers with today's interest rates aren't scared of buying now with the rates the way they are. So recently, one of my videos that I sent out with Brian Buffini talked about buy now and refi later, you know. So if you do have a buyer, because we've heard from some agents that they can't sell houses in this market, the interest rates are too high. Well, that's not true, because look at the 15 people that are writing offers, or the 25 people that are writing offers. Those buyers are getting interest rates at wherever they are today. I don't even know where they are. Are they at 6.5, somewhere in that range right now? Brooks, where are the interest rates right now?
Yeah, I think you're pretty close.
It's fluctuating up and down in that price ranges. Tom Chlednik, if I can ask you a question, you work a lot of new construction right now. Are you seeing the multiple offers with your new construction? Because you're in a much higher price range than,
No, we're not getting multiple offers. We're getting a lot of activity though, and people are still looking to build. I mean, got a lot of activity going on that way.
Okay.
But as far as, the specs that we just closed, no, we didn't. We had interest, but we didn't get any did not get into multiple offer situation. And I know that one that Tidy had, he didn't get multiple offers either. So, but I mean, we're getting a lot of activity at even open houses. People still need to buy, and there is nothing out there. I mean, I thought last year wouldn't get worse than last year, but I just have a gut feeling this year is going to be brutal, even more brutal. You've got very, very low inventory, very competitive. These people they're kind of used to the rates now, I believe, at around that 6.5%. They just don't want to go up to 7%. So they're coming at it. Sherry, sounds like you may have competed against one that I had 2 weekends ago. Did you right over in Harrisburg, Joy Daniels listing that had 12 offers? It was listed at 485, I think 485, 12 offers. I mean, I had my clients went up to 525, paid plus paying transfer tax, $15,000 appraisal gap, 20% down buyer, $30,000 earnest money deposit, and we lost out. We didn't. I thought for sure we'd get it, and we lost out. I mean, waived everything, and apparently someone came in and put like $400,000. We're putting down on the property, and was higher than us in price.
Right.
So I don't see the multiple offers, Tim, in the new construction. A lot of activity though.
okay.
But the resells, it's brutal out there.
And it's across the board in that 2, 3, 4, $500,000 price range. It's still these people with that amount of offers. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, you know how you win every one of those? Be on the listing side.
Yeah.
Be on the listing side. So if you're making your calls and you're writing your notes and you're working your past client databases and you're calling expired listings and that, guess what? You get the listings, you get the 25 offers. If you're on the buying side, one person wins, 24 others lose.
Yeah.
And it could affect our market in many different ways. It could affect our market where agents who aren't experienced listing agents who have particularly worked buyers over the last couple of years, and maybe they're not full-time, or maybe they're skimming off the top. You might see those people leave the business because like you said, Tom, it's brutal out there. It's tough. And unless you're on the listing side, when you're on the listing side, you're always a winner. When you're on the buyer side, it's pretty tough. Who else do we got? Kong, what are you seeing as far as pricing properties, and what's your strategy right now with not chasing the market when pricing properties?
It's so hard right now for first-time home buyers still. I have a lot of clients that are looking in that 250, 275K range, 3 clients, and it's just near impossible because there's no inventory. And there seems to be a bottleneck at the top because, those people that currently have the 500 to 600K homes, they don't want to move because now they're going to go to the next level. And at the next level, you're at 800-900K, a million, and paying 6.5%. So, once we get those people to move more, then we'll see more inventory, I think.
Okay.
As far as pricing, it's very interesting because the way our MLS is set up now, I'm not sure if you've taken a look at the tax records and such. As a listing agent, it's hard to price a property, but just know that if you price it at a price that'll cause it to attract enough attention, the market will respond and a buyer will come out of it with the best terms for your seller. But just pricing properties is very difficult because the seller's expectations are up here, or they don't want to tell you what their expectation is. You go in on a listing appointment with 3 other agents against 3 other agents, and you don't want to be outbidded. So you have to have a real good strategy when you go meet with sellers.
Okay. And what is your strategy when you go in and talk to them about pricing it right and getting the multiple offers versus being too high and not getting any?
Yeah, you have to be really, really prepared when you go in and meet with sellers. And a couple of things that I do when I go on a listing appointment, especially when I present a CMA, is have everything ready, such as plots of the property, find out if it's in a flood zone or not, the competition, what we're competing against out there, what's pending, what's sold, finding private transfers. Okay. Our MLS system with the tax records, you can find some private transfers as well. There's a way to do it. Read the descriptions of all your comps. It's really important to do that, especially the agent remarks. They'll give you little hints here and there as to the condition of the property and terms and such. And then just calling other agents that have sold the comps and talk to them. Hey, how many offers did you get? Why did you pull it off the market in one day? Or how was the overall showings? How many did you have? So that's the type of thing that you want to do, because when you meet with a seller, they want to hear a story. And you can't give them a full story unless you know everything about that house and the neighborhood and the surrounding sales that were recent. So that's one of the things I do is I call up other agents that had listings around it without giving them the address, and just say, hey, I'm calling you because I might be getting a listing there. Just wanted to see how many showings you've had and what was it like selling that house. And they'll talk to you. Agents will talk to you and they'll let you know how their sale went. And who knows, maybe they'll even say, well, I still have a list of all the agents that had the multiple offers, call them, and try to sell them a house. And then you go into a listing appointment and said, I did all this research and I found 5 buyers already for your house. So
Okay.
That type of stuff.
Yep. Shelley, let's catch you off guard here for a little bit. You're having a fantastic year, busier than heck. Why don't you talk a little bit about the Chambersburg market and tell us what's happening there? Are you guys still experiencing multiple offers in Chambersburg? Got to take it off mute. There you go.
I think our market is a little bit different than what you guys are experiencing up north. I did have a listing, which was just a cheap little fixer-upper, but I ended up with 3 offers and a little more than full price in just a couple days. I think their buyers are still out there. They are getting used to those interest rates. I've got a lot of listings lined up and working on them. So I think our market is doing quite well. I'm thinking that we do still experience some multiple offers, but not like you guys are doing. And I have probably about 7 listings I've been working on that hopefully I'll have for this year.
Great. Yep. You had 4 closings last Friday, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
March was really good. I had a really good March.
Are they primarily your listings that are selling?
Yeah, I do a lot of listings.
Okay.
I do like to work with first-time home buyers, and so I'll pick them up as much as I can, but you got to list to last.
So let's say that it's more of a normal market in Chambersburg, right?
Yeah, it's, I think a lot of the new agents that went through the really easy market are gonna be dropping out because they're not gonna, they don't know what to do.
What's your strategy on pricing the house based on the comps right now with the market being a little more normal there?
Yeah, just, like Kong was saying, you pull the actives, the pendings, the under contracts, and you try to, some of the agents will talk to you about their listings, and then some of them are just, some of them won't. I don't know if they're intimidated because they're newer agents or whatever. But anyway, pendings and the under contracts is what I do. And I really, like he said, read the descriptions. Just try to go by square footage, style, location, and so forth. I mean, people were very open to the prices. I haven't had sellers fussing about. They just want to get them, they just want to get them sold.
Aaron Duffy, can you unmute?
Good morning.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, how are you?
So why don't you tell the group, for the buyers or the buyers agents that are working with buyers right now, what your little secret is on the interest rates and who you use and why?
So, am I echoing?
Yeah.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay. So, honestly, S&T, I don't know who is working with S&T, who's not, but I have priced them against a bunch of different mortgage brokers, a bunch of different credit unions and stuff, and they're currently doing portfolio loans where they're holding them in-house, and they're between 5.6 and 5.7%. It's really hard to compete with that, even for a lender. Another lender that Kathy and I had just went out to lunch with was Belco. She has a friend over at, not Belco,
Yeah, or
Susquehanna.
Valley, and they're actually at 5.5%. So there are still lenders lending at, lower rates. So that's a whole, 1.5% from, normal brokers. So getting out, talking to people and finding the best way and best solution is still the best. And some of these brokers that, are offering the different programs, just like Guy is with Guild and North Point, they have like different programs that you can do, within 3 years to refinance and stuff like that. So, but S&T, even the business side for commercial loans is, it's really hard to beat.
now, Aaron, does that program, that portfolio program at 5.6, does that require a 20% down payment?
No, most of it's 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
Do they
And
charge
it's-
PMI on it though?
I don't know. I think so, maybe. I don't know.
We should find that out for the next call on
Yeah.
those portfolio loans, just to find out what the deal is on that.
Yeah, and it's 30 years. It's 30-year fixed too.
Okay. And then any information you and Kathy can give the group on what's it called, Brooke? Susquehanna Valley Credit
Susquehanna
Union?
Valley.
Federal Credit Union.
Federal
Yeah.
Credit Union. At their 5.5, find out what the minimum down payment is for that one.
Okay, yeah, I'll get some stuff together for everybody.
So for those buyers that are holding off, at least we get a chance to get them a little bit lower interest rate right now. Or again, talk them into some sort of program where, like Guy was talking about, where it's one rate for the first year, one rate for the second, and one rate for year 3 through 30. And by that time, the election will come and the rates will come back down and people can refi, as Brian Buffini says, buy and refi. Buy and refi. Okay,
How about
Brent.
Emily, Tim? How
Go ahead,
about
Tim.
Emily on her husband's a builder and also the market down in Chambersburg? And what are you seeing?
would agree with Shelley. I don't think it's quite as crazy as Mechanicsburg area, but there are multiple offers. It's probably 2 or 3. I have been struggling with one particular first-time buyer. She needs a little bit of assistance. I've had to coach her a lot about, saving money where it's asking for assistance isn't always going to be the best. I did have one get like $5,000 towards closing costs. So that was a throwback as how I felt like, it worked. It worked with that buyer and that seller, but that's not too common. She was educated from a buyer who bought 3 years ago, and that's how they did it. So I had to reteach her, this is the current market. We're not getting seller's assistance as easy as we used to. But I do agree with Shelley. It's more of a normal market. I have not been in it that long, 5 years, but that takes me, pre-COVID times where I could remember, we had to work for the listing. We had to actually be educated on the prices of the houses and neighborhoods and what kind of condition they were in. We're not able to just throw a price out there and know that it's going to get more than that. I have a listing now that's going to go active on Friday, and I had to coach him and say, we could, and there's a house 10 houses down in the same development. He knows the guy, he knows the house, and we had to compare. I actually went to the listing and we compared the pros and cons of the house. That house did not sell. It was priced too high, I think, but I used that as my tool to educate him on where we need to be. And he was very absorbed it like a sponge and very trusting. He didn't argue, but I just had to show that I was knowledgeable on the market and what was happening and why. And I said, do you want to make a lot of money and wait 2 months like this guy down the street, or do you want to sell it quick? And we can price it accordingly to get a quick attention. And we have 4 showings lined up for Friday already. It's just coming soon in MLS. So he chose to get the attention and sell it quick because he's already bought a house. He wants to get it done with. And we did talk a lot about that. And I think that's, like Shelley said, again, the new agents aren't able to, and I'm not even an old agent, but they're not able to experience what life was normal. And it's probably harder for them, I would imagine. But yeah, just to be educated more so than we would have been a year or 2 ago on a listing. We can't just throw a number out there. You have to know what it's going to compare to be. What are the ones that sold that are like it? What was the updates, if there were or weren't any. I actually enjoy it because it forces you to be more educated and just a master of your craft. It's not easy anymore.
Okay.
Tim, real quick, Emily
Yeah.
brought up a very good point. Use the Bright system for what it is. That coming soon period, I know we all hate it because houses all of a sudden get sold under it. But if you're going to go out and get a listing and a seller's adamant about a certain price up here and you're here, and you don't want to lose the listing, go ahead, get it, put it in as coming soon, educate them on the coming soon period, and just say, look, let's put it in for 10 weeks. It's our gauge. It's our little cheat for 10 days. If I'm not getting a lot of calls or a lot of showings set up beforehand, then maybe we need to adjust the price before it goes active. And you are allowed to do a price reduction while it's in coming soon or before it goes active. Okay. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but you're allowed to adjust the price before it goes active. So it's almost like a little test period for you. It's a free look. And I've done that. And, to my surprise, every time it sells, but that's something that you can do just so that you can leave with the contract signed.
That's a great tool.
Mr. Brent, how has the pricing of these homes and the multiple offers affected their rental business? at this point? Are you still seeing, you know, if there's 25 people that made an offer on a house and only one got it, that means that sooner or later, some of these buyers are going to give up and start renting houses. Are the higher end rentals still moving off the renting right away?
Just as the sales market, the rental market is just the same, and the rental prices are just as reflecting just the exact same. They are increased because of the supply and demand. It is your classic supply and demand. There's not many rentals out there, so that just increases the prices, and there's a lot of interest. Yes, at all market or at all levels, price levels.
That rental market also had to increase because of the interest rates too. The investors' loans are at a higher rate because they're commercial money versus residential money, so that stuff adjusts too. So it's not always that the investor is just capitalizing on it. Their costs are going up too, which requires the rate to go up too. Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Hubler, what are you seeing in the market? And because you work several different markets, you're working still the repo market and the resale market. What are you seeing with regards to pricing property?
Well, it seems like that you have to be spot on to get the activity. You can't overprice it or else you're going to be chasing it down and you won't get the activity, even though that somebody like Kong is saying about doing the coming soon and whatnot. You have to pretty much price it spot on to get the activity, to get those multiple offers to increase the prices. So we've been telling the sellers that you want to find the sweet spot, but you don't want to overprice it or else you won't get the activity. And you win some, you lose some. And because we missed out on one the other week, but it's so funny because you come in because they wanted us to really cut our commission down, and we held our ground. They went with somebody else, and it's funny on how they're doing everything that we told them to do a coming soon, and right where the pricing is. So that's about it. Foreclosures, they're still not coming yet. I just pulled the Dauphin County list, and that's going off next week, and you just see that they keep postponing. That's been the consistency with other counties and whatnot. And it's so funny because a couple people have been coming up to me, oh, foreclosures are coming back. And it's just like, where? I'm not getting anything, not seeing anything going through. They're just sitting back. So it's probably going to be the third or fourth quarter before we're going to actually start to see more on the street.
Okay, good. Anybody else want to contribute about pricing properties? Any experiences that you're having that you would like to share with the group?
Tim, I have one
Yes,
question
sir.
maybe the group can help with. I'm dealing with 4 of my previous clients, all of them who own homes, and they're thinking of moving up, but they have to sell that house before they can move up. And I only have one that has a relative that they could move into before they could find another house. So it's a caught in between everything here. They won't move or won't sell the house because they're afraid that they can't get into something else with multiple offers going in. So I'm looking for something that will help that situation. And so far, I haven't come up with anything.
What about a bridge loan, Bob?
A bridge loan for who?
For the people that are going to buy. They can use that money to buy, so that way,
Then they sell.
yeah.
Without selling their house first, they get a bridge loan on their current home, use that as their down payment. They own 2 homes until they, buy the new one and then sell their existing home. Aaron, you just had that happen, didn't you? Where you got a listing, or you and Matt got a listing with, by recommending the bridge loan?
Yeah, it's If you have a lot of equity, I mean, we have friends that are looking to do one too. I mean, it is hard if you don't have anywhere to go, but that's your, your in between is moving. I mean, the inventory is not there, but you know that once they find a house that they're going to be able to turn around and sell theirs quickly. So yeah,
If they don't have the ability to do the bridge loan and they sold their house and they didn't find one, I know in the past, up in Bent Creek, Triple Crown used to do short-term rentals up there, I think 3 months at a time. But that's an idea of looking for a short-term rental. Unfortunately, they got to make 2 moves, but if they want to get into this market and they don't have the ability to do a bridge loan and own 2 homes at the same time, it's either moving in with a family member or finding a short-term rental or a bridge loan. Those are really the only things I can think of.
Good
and
idea.
with
Triple
multiple
Crown.
offers, you can also have a rent back. I mean, a lot of them, if they, but unfortunately, you're going to have to put a time frame on that. But a lot of people are willing to rent back just to get the house, even at, minimal amounts or no money. So that's an idea too.
Okay, Emily?
I have that exact thing happening now. My client whose house is going active on Friday bought 2 weeks ago, and we were in a competing situation. And we let the reason that we won is we didn't offer a whole lot more. It was just $5,000 more, but we allowed those sellers to stay for their new construction to be complete. We said it's open-ended. And we did not list their house until they've already sold and, well, they've already bought the new one. So we have a bridge loan, and it's all like, he was freaking out at first. He's very much a numbers guy. And he said, that's 2 mortgages and all this. But between myself and the lender, we were able to give him that security and help him understand the process. And it's got 3 families. It's because it's 2, a husband or a boyfriend and a girlfriend moving. So the boyfriend is selling. It's 3 households all working together like a fine puzzle. And it's because of a bridge loan and post-possession for the other seller, and just people thinking out of the box and giving other people grace for their life situation. And it's really helped in this particular transaction.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Tim, I think the last 4 times I've used that bridge loan, I don't think my client has ever had to make a bridge loan payment.
Right.
I mean, it happens fast, and they have up to a year to sell it. And the nice thing about it too, is they can go buy their next home and have a week, 2 weeks, whatever you have to move into their next house. It's not like a rush where they have to move the same day. And that in itself is worth at least 1 or 2 monthly payments, at least in my opinion.
Yes, I think that's what really helped.
You're muted, Emily.
So that really helped my guy because he couldn't understand all of the moving parts. But when we took away the time frame and that pressure and said, like, I proved to him that yes, his house will sell and we'll price it right and all those things, he was okay with it. And it really just made life far easier than, moving to his child's home and staying there for a couple of weeks and, be bopping all around. It really did work well. Bob, I would try that. See if anybody is able to get a bridge loan and, own more than 1 house at a time, but that might be your ticket to get the listings moving.
Very good, thanks.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up? Any questions they'd like to ask? If not, let's go to Poppy. Any final remarks?
Just a great session, sharing of ideas and us helping each other. This is what it's all about. I love it when it happens this way because it makes us more than a company. It makes us together. And that's what's important about this whole business, working relationships within the company. So have a great week. And, hopefully we'll have another great meeting next week.
Sounds good. Brooksy? Anything else?
Just going back to pricing property, like Emily was saying, don't throw a number out there. You know, we gotta be smart in what we're doing here. Inform your sellers of the market conditions, pull your comps. And we can't go a super high margin like we used to over where those last comps sold in the last 6 months. You can maybe go slightly above or right at, but the market conditions will dictate whether you're going to get multiple offers, which will clean up details and some of these other things that are attractive to sellers. So it's important to stay closer to where those comps are. That's my 2 cents on the whole pricing property. But other than that, Aaron, do you want to give us some details on the golf tournament? We selected a date and we got another one of those in the works.
Yeah, so it is set up for August 26th. It's at Rich Valley again. And our tee off time is going to be 8 a.m. So registration is going to start at 7. That way we can get done and not be there so late like we were last year. I have the website created and the invitation almost done. So I'm going to start sharing that. Really try and hope we get everybody at a discount rate and get them signed up by the end of May. That way it'll allow us to work on other stuff. And yeah, so we'll be sharing that soon.
Okey doke. Well, we will talk to you next week. Hopefully we'll come up with a good topic next week, Brooks. We'll put our heads together and thank you for everybody participating and have a great week.